Most people don't take care of their future self. Think about, your future self and how they feel. Think about your future self, how they living. Do you think that this person is confident? Do you think this person is living the greatest life? Because that person is completely dependent, upon you. That person is completely to your will and what you do right now. I remember times, I poisoned my future self and eating wrong. I would rob from my future self by not investing in myself, right? I take away from my future self knowledge, leave them dumb from not learning something. I was treating my future self like shit, and now I don't really care about future self. I'm like, nah, don't even worry about it. I got you. You good. You in a great position. You a legend. So it's a real thought and it's a real idea when you have a connection to who you are, right, and who you're becoming, to make sure you do things that's in alignment to who you want to be. Because one day, you're going to live it. One day, the same way, I'm sitting here right now in 2023, man. 5 years ago, if I didn't care about this version of myself, I wouldn't be able to do the things I do now. Right? And that's the thing about, where we are in today's time. There was a 5 years ago from this day that you had to do things the right way. There was a 2 years ago, 1 year ago. How much did that person care about the life that you live in? How much did that person, because you got to differentiate yourself into different time dimensions. Like, how much did you care, like, that you was going to put yourself in position to be able to, live the life that you're living right now? Man, I always cared about my future self. Ever since I was a child, I'd be thoughtful. I would ask future self, how much wisdom you got? How much knowledge? How do I get there? You feel me? It changes the way you go about doing things. It allows you to do things bigger as well. So you gotta care about your future self. And a lot of people don't think about it because they be trying to survive. They self be jumping maybe for another week, maybe for another day. Most of the time they have concerns instead of confidence. Yeah, ever since I was a child, I cared about this person right now. I would think like, damn, who am I gonna be at 33? I would think like, who am I gonna be in 10 years? Who am I gonna be at 44? Who am I gonna be at 55? I want them to feel good. Like when you, let's say you in your 20s right now, you in your 30s right now. Let's say, like, how do you want that person to feel? How much money you want that person to have? How much power you want them to have? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of network? How joyful you want them to feel? Man, you gotta be able to take yourself out this time loop and jump into another time consciousness. And that's what I be doing because it allows me to be able to set myself up for success. It's an important exercise to do though. Tapping into who you are. It's an important exercise to, take a step back and figure out, like, you feel me, where that power is. And I be locked in with it though. I be locked in and I don't let nothing get in my way. I always remind myself of my own power. I always remind myself of my energy. I remind myself of, who I am everywhere I go. Always. Like, that's a constant. I am. Like, I am is the presence of God. Somebody say, any advice for somebody finding themselves? Stop looking. Stop looking. That idea that you need to find yourself, right? It's like looking for, you ever look for something that you had in your pocket the whole time? You know what I'm saying? You ever look for something that's in you? You don't look for yourself. Because then who you become is somebody that's lost. Right? When you realize who you are, you find yourself. That's what they call it. It's a realization. You don't go around looking for yourself. Who can find you? Who can point you in the right direction? We're yourself. Right? And this is why so many people is lost, because they take on the identity of lost. The identity of lost is looking for yourself. The identity of found, realizing who you are. I am. Just stop and say I am. What you want to put after that? I am what? It's up to you. You get to fill your cup. It's simple. All of the other jargon, all of the other things that people wrap around it, it's nothing. It's fancy words. Just stop and say, I am. And that's who you are. You feel the rest of whatever the hell that means to you. I am blank. You got that ability. I'm giving it to you. Use it. You keep looking for yourself and you'll keep being lost. Because that's what lost people do. They look for themselves. I ain't never tried to find myself. I always knew who I was. Because I decided who I was. And then remind yourself of who you are constantly. So you don't get lost, because the world trying to make you forget. The world is like, imagine you walking around like this bravado and this confidence of like knowing you royal, and then somebody walk up to you and try to treat you less than. You go, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Wait a minute, you don't know who I am? That's what you gonna think. You don't know who I am, right? Because they don't know, right, what that I am is. And so you gotta be like, wait a minute, man, I'm not gonna allow it. I gotta remind myself who I am. And by reminding myself, I'm gonna remind you. You feel me? Because obviously, you must not got the memo. And it's not healthy for neither one of us. And what you do is you don't go to places, you don't deal with people, you don't allow nobody to treat you other than who you are. You know what I mean? But you get to make that decision. I say, I'm a God. I have to be treated as such. That's the energy. Nothing else will suffice. I'm royal. I got to be treated as such. You know? So if you try to treat me other than, because you might be like, who you think you are? And I'm like, I am. Why would you question that? Why would you play with my work because you don't know your own? So yeah, man, that's my advice. Stop looking for yourself. You'll be lost forever. That's what lost people do. Don't ever take on the actions of a lost man. The one we're talking about, I'm trying to find myself.